Hi you guys, my name is Oshun the Great, and welcome to my beautiful channel. It's been a while since I've been keeping up with my YouTube channel, but that has to change starting today. I've been trying to like expand my business, things of that nature, so that's a lot of that has been going on. Yeah, so today I wanted to kind of touch on behind the scenes of white families in America. Now this is a very controversial video, obviously, but this is my experience as a black woman in America again, and I realize that some other black people may be putting themselves in similar situations. This can potentially save a life, so we're gonna get a little detail about what I mean by white families in America. For one, America is one of the most biggest terrorists you can ever imagine. We in America, the people in America, like to portray everyone else as terrorists, but we like to erase our history and what we've done to become this great country that we are till today. I like to see, I agree a lot with Tupac when he says America is one of the biggest bullies. Policemen are one of the biggest gangs, and so forth. And again, white supremacy is alive and well, things of that nature. So all of that is going on today, and this kind of factors into why I make this video as well. But I've been in some recent situations that could potentially have caused me to either get really hurt badly or even killed, because you never know the ignorance level of race wars and race situations in America. So you got to be really careful. And this is when you're dating interracially. It doesn't matter if the person you're not dating is racist. You got to always factor in their family, friends, people around them, and even just I did a work trade situation with the white family, and I'm going to explain a little bit of how each of these situations went and how it could have probably been avoided and what I learned from these experiences. Now, some of you guys have been keeping track of all of my videos, so you know that I was kicked out not too long ago by my ex, who was white, and I had been single for a long time before letting this guy in my life. But not with that being said, okay, so with the most recent situation, dating, I made a video called dating interracially could be detrimental, meaning we have to be careful we allow in our lives, because we don't know their true intentions sometimes. In my situation, I've learned that white people want to get close to black people to either quote-unquote learn their secrets, learn how the community thinks, and then use it against black people. So I've been in situations twice like that. My work trade situation and in my romantic situation, but nonetheless, let's see what happened. So I touched on the part where, okay, my work trade situation, it was kind of like I was invited to this family's home. They kind of made it seem like they wanted to get to know a black person's perspective, such and such, and so I explained a lot of things that our community and black community sees and how we react and how we think. But it seemed like they would use things and turn it and flip it against me, and they would show me videos constantly of how black people are portrayed as savages, showing how people shoot in hoods and stuff like that. And to me, I'm kind of like, okay, but I'm the spitting image of that all black people aren't the same, things like that. But they weren't hearing that. And then I touched on the part where it was disrespectful at one point for them to pull to quote-unquote clean their gun in front of me, knowing that the racial tension in the house is building up. So it was a lot of shit like that, you know, people could be putting themselves in positions to be hurt or potentially killed, and they would just do a lot of slick, sly shit, and that was just very considered inhumane. And then the energy just started being way off in that situation, and you never know what people do when you are putting your life in someone's hands to cook for you, do everything for you. So you have to be really careful. Not to say that, of course, it's like things could have been worse, but I'm just saying, in the romantic situation, it was something covered up to be like romantic, but it was kind of like a trap to lure, it was a whole thing to lure me in to kind of play the savior role. So you have to be careful that there are communities and families like that that will try to save you, whether it's religious wise or whether it's because they have different moral standpoints to you, and they think that it's okay to just trick you or to do whatever inhumane shit to you as possible. In this situation, I end up being paid. Middle class families end up paying me away, which was really new to me and which was crazy to me. So you just have to be careful of who you're dealing with in these situations. I know I'm not voicing every detail, but I'm just vaguely touching on, like, middle class white families seem to pay their problems away, or seem to think it's okay to get away with certain things. What else? I feel like moral codes change with money. When you have certain money, you know, morality isn't the same across the spectrum. So some things that middle class get away with, lower class couldn't. Let's see. What else? It's just, you gotta just be careful, again, who you spend your time with, because you never want to be in a situation where either you gotta see where you're coming from. If you are you trying to be accepted by these communities, you know, is it important for you to have white allies? It's different, and you have to really get to know someone, not based on their skin color, but based on their morals, their integrity, and all of that. So in my situation, I was way too trusting in a way. So this is just a kind of like a awareness video. My guidance was like, you know, you need to make this video. Kind of like, I do feel like some things that are done in the dark need to come to light, because these situations can potentially end up having an individual killed, and a lot of people don't give a fuck if black lives you know, are killed or murdered and things like that. And this very well could have been that kind of situation, like a get out situation. And I just have an issue in this country when I'm put in situations where white people are trying to make me feel like, oh, you know, you can respect us, and then the next thing you know, they do everything in their power to degrade, demean, and hurt me in these situations. And then so I'm left with like this, oh, but you said I could trust you kind of thing. Not to say that all people are like this, obviously, but we really got to be responsible in this manner of seeing what's going on, talking about it openly, how we can change it, because these situations were not right at all. And in a lot of these situations, these people are justified because it is left unchecked, until you have people like me to come and talk about it. And yes, I understand, you know, the controversy and uproar this could cause, but again, being a black woman in America, I've been in situations where this shit can get wild and crazy, and especially if you're a single woman who's very open-minded, you know, that can be kind of dangerous in America at times, as well as rewarding. And it's not to breed fear into anyone, it's just, again, for awareness. But yeah, that being said, that is my little input. If you guys have situations that happen like this, and you learn something from it, then by all means voice your story, because people might learn from it, benefit from it, and save a life. For me, what I've learned from this situation is not to be too trusting of I'm not gonna say just white people, because it can happen in any race. It's not to be too trusting in the get-go, and especially cultures who are opposite of you, especially in this country, because of the race war that's going on. Because if you haven't grown around diversity, you're mostly gonna encounter white families who are fearful of black people, fearful of their life, and they want you in their home for what? So it's like, you know, that could be any dangerous thing that goes down because of fear. Now you got a bunch of people, a group of people that you're around, potentially away from your community, that's so scared of you that you know, you never know what could happen out of that situation. So, but yeah. Anyways, be dope, be unapologetically. Peace.